You're listening to the SmackDown RunDown on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the SmackDown RunDown here on the AngryMarks Podcast Network. Yes, it is I, the one and only Nikolai, and I am joined once again by Jordan Garber.
How are you doing today, Nick?
I am doing well. I am quite enjoying my weekend so far. Like I said, so far. But still, I'm enjoying it. How are you today?
I am doing pretty good. Been busy lately, but like they say, it's always good to keep busy, so I'm doing pretty good.
That's exactly right. And you know WWE is keeping busy by trying to keep us entertained and intrigued for this weekend's pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell. I have to ask you, Jordan, are you excited for Hell in a Cell this weekend?
Yeah, I actually, you know what, I am excited for Hell in a Cell. I'm excited for any WWE pay-per-view event, for sure. It's just, one thing I could change about Hell in a Cell that would hype everyone up is if Brock Lesnar was there to defend the title. He's a part-timer, and he's not even defending the title on a pay-per-view, which is weird, especially always the WWE title is defended, but not in this case. But except for that, the matches look pretty good. I'm ready to discuss it, and it should be a good pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I have to agree on part of what you said about Brock Lesnar. We're so used to the World Heavyweight Championship being present at every pay-per-view, so with Brock Lesnar not being there, I mean, he is a part-timer, so I wasn't really going to expect him to be there, but I do hope that he is at Survivor Series, because that's still an important pay-per-view to a lot of people. So if he doesn't show up there, and if we don't see him until the Royal Rumble, then I will have a big issue with that. But I don't have too much of a problem about Brock Lesnar not being here at Hell in a Cell. I can live with it. I mean, we don't always need to see Brock Lesnar, but it is a big void not having the championship there.
Yeah, for sure. And pretty much, if you can tell that Brock Lesnar is up here in Canada in Medicine Hat hunting, it looks like it kind of makes me worry, because it's like, does this guy want to be on a pay-per-view anytime soon? Does this guy want to show up, or is he just, he won the title, that's it, I'm done. I'm taking it home with me. Yeah, maybe I'll go in Medicine Hat and I'll show everyone the title there and start hunting with it. It's kind of funny how he's not really seen as much as a part-timer, and there's all these stories that he's trying to, like, forget about wrestling, but yet he still has the title. It's hilarious, kind of.
My biggest issue is we got a brand new championship belt, and we can't even see it. Since Brock Lesnar beat Cena at SummerSlam, the next night on Raw, they unveiled the new championship belt. That was the first time we saw it. Second time we saw it was on Raw before the last pay-per-view, which I'm drawing a blank right now. Do you remember what the last pay-per-view was? Was it Battleground, or? I
think it was. And if anyone listening, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Battleground.
It was Night of Champions. I apologize. It was Night of Champions.
Night of Champions. That's when Rollins interfered in the main event, and that's why Cena's used to have a feud with Seth Rollins, but now Ambrose is facing Rollins.
That's right. So since the new championship belt debuted, we've only seen it a minimum of 3 times on 3 shows, and that was since August 19th, I believe. So we've gone pretty much 3 whole months and only seen the championship belt 3 times?
Yeah, that's kind of not right, because the cool thing about a championship in wrestling is that the fans get to see it and pretty much see it every week, because it is kind of cool. A championship belt is supposed to look fancy, because it crowns an achievement in someone's wrestling career. So, I kind of wish that I could see the championship a little more. I can agree with you on that.
Yeah. So we only see the title for 3 times out of 2 months, and yeah, don't expect to see Brock Lesnar at Hell in a Cell. I've said it before, I'll say it again. He's the champion, but he's not going to be here. But there is a major situation with the main event that has to do with the championship, and that is Orton and Cena facing off in Hell in a Cell, and the winner will get a future title shot against Brock Lesnar in the future. They didn't say when, they just said in the future.
Oh, yeah, well, the future could be 1 year, 2 years, it could be a decade. Like, that's so vague, the future. It should be an exact date, for sure.
Well, like I said, and this proof that WWE listens to the SmackDown Rundown, because I had given that suggestion before. I said that there should be a number 1 contenders match at Hell in a Cell for the title, and what I wanted to see is that, the title be defended at Survivor Series. Now, there's no official report on if Brock Lesnar will be there or not. Apparently, the original deal is for him to take time off until the Royal Rumble, but I think WWE is going to try and get some more dates from him and maybe have him show up more often. Like I said, I hope he shows up at Survivor Series, but it's too soon to call. Right now, we have a number 1 contenders Hell in a Cell match, so I'm looking forward to seeing who wins, because and I'll talk about that a little more. But first, I want to talk about SmackDown in a show as itself, because this show is too good to be ignored. So I don't want to just start discussing Hell in a Cell all the way through before talking to SmackDown, because this was a really good show that we got to. Dean Ambrose came out first to call out Seth Rollins. Seth, in turn, said that he makes the decisions and he was going to call out Ambrose later in the show. So, skip ahead. We get to the main event of SmackDown, and Seth Rollins did indeed call out Dean Ambrose. And he had a whole bunch of weapons in the ring. What did you think about these 2 segments from SmackDown, the opening and the closer?
I love the closer. It was so late last night when I watched SmackDown, but as far as I can obviously I remember most of the show, most definitely. But near the end of that SmackDown with Rollins with the tables in the ring with all the weapons on it, and then him calling Ambrose out, perfect. That's a good way to get the fans interested in what's going on in the ring, because there's obviously weapons in the ring, and the fans are going to say in the crowd, something's going to go down. And it was kind of cool to see Ambrose with that sneak attack again, what he's really known for. He does a lot of those sneak attacks. And I loved that end segment, and the beginning segment was really good too. It was one of those segments in wrestling where, that feeling when you watch wrestling and you watch a segment and maybe you're tweeting during it or you're reading or whatever, but you can't, you stare at the TV that entire segment. That was one of those segments.
Yeah, it's one of those segments that you just don't take your eyes off of it, and it keeps your attention. And the fact that Seth Rollins had what I call J&J security, Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury there with him, and then, as you mentioned, Dean Ambrose with the sneak attack, and he got the better hand out of all 3 of them. Of course, Seth Rollins ran away, of course, but that's perfect, because you want to build that tension and that tease for the pay-per-view match. And
yeah,
Ambrose with an elbow drop to both Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble through the tables from the top rope was just top notch. I loved the way that this whole segment went. I'm loving this feud, this build to Hell in a Cell, and I can't wait to see them steal the show.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So what's your thoughts on this whole feud with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose leading to their Hell in a Cell match? Like, how do you see this match going down at the pay-per-view?
You kind of look at it this way, is that it's really entertaining. It's one of those segments where you can't get your eyes off of the TV screen. I'm really excited to see this match in Hell in a Cell. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the Monday Night Raw after the Hell in a Cell. Sorry, between these 2 competitors. It should be really good to see.
Well, you mentioned Monday Night Raw, so let's rewind a little bit to the Raw this past Monday night, where Mick Foley made a surprise appearance to talk to Rollins and Ambrose about entering Hell in a Cell. And this will be the first time for both men, and Mick Foley tried to give him words of advice about the dangers of the Hell in a Cell and the endurance they must have to literally enter hell. So
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was a really good surprise appearance and pep talk from Mick Foley.
Yeah, exactly. Totally agree with you.
So I'm excited for this match. I think it's one of few that will steal the show at Hell in a Cell.
Oh, most definitely. Ambrose and Rollins will steal the show at Hell in a Cell. It's just one of those matches that it's bound to be a classic, and like 20 years from now, when I have grandchildren, even not when I have grandchildren, of course, but when I have kids, that sounds so stupid. But when I have kids, even if I do whatever, it's just a saying, of course. But 20 years from now, we're going to be looking back, and we're going to say, wow, that match was a classic.
Now, speaking of stealing the show, one man who always wants to do so is Dolph Ziggler, the current Intercontinental Champion. And I say current because he defeated Cesaro on SmackDown in arguably the best match of the night. There is no argument. That was the best match of the night. Dolph Ziggler retained his Intercontinental Championship against Cesaro. This is a match that if you have not seen this, folks, go back and watch it. And the crowd loved it. They were chanting, "This is awesome." There were a lot of near falls. Ziggler hits the zigzag. There was no controversy this time in this title match.
Oh, yeah, no controversy at all there. It was a really good title match. I enjoyed it, and it was good to see, most definitely. I would give it a solid 8 out of 10 match.
Well, Cesaro obviously was not happy about it, so he decides to challenge Dolph Ziggler once again, and this time he wants to fight him at Hell in a Cell in a 2 out of 3 falls match. One of my favorite match stipulations because it's just straight up wrestling. You can have a long match. The last time we saw 2 out of 3 falls was the Usos versus Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, and I loved that match. And with Ziggler and Cesaro, they put on good matches in the past, and I can't wait to see this one. This is another match to potentially steal the show at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, most definitely, and that's exactly right. Is that I like the 2 out of 3 falls matches because it's just unpredictable and you get to see what we're here to see, and that's professional wrestling.
So I take it you enjoyed the title match on SmackDown?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. Like I said, it was something to go back and check out if you have not. And like I said, I can't wait to see their another rematch at the pay-per-view. And I am glad that it's 2 out of 3 falls. So, I'm rambling on and on, but I can't stress how good that this will be.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a really good pay-per-view, and I'm looking forward to all of these matches, and I'm just looking forward to the fallout of it. It should be a really good show.
Now, let's talk about the Divas from Friday Night SmackDown. First of all, congratulations to Eden Styles, a.k.a. Brandy Runnels, a.k.a. Cody Rhodes' wife, for stepping up and having the ring announcer duties since Lillian Garcia is now on Monday Night Raw because Justin Roberts has left the company. So good luck to Justin Roberts, but I still wish he was there. Anyways, we had a 6-diva tag team match. Brie Bella, Naomi, and Natalya faced Nikki Bella, Summer Rae, and Cameron. Nikki got the pin over her sister, much like what happened last week when Brie pinned Nikki, leading up to their match at Hell in a Cell. And the stipulation is the loser has to be the winner's personal assistant for a month, and if the loser does not comply, they must quit WWE. Where do you stand with this Bella versus Bella feud?
I like it. It's funny because a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm tired of it. I'm tired. This is ridiculous." But I actually enjoy it. It's actually really entertaining. It's something that it could be beneficial for in the history of the company. I just like seeing these two square off. It's a perfect situation, the perfect feud. Two sisters. I think they're sisters in real life too. Correct?
Yeah, they're twins.
They're twins. Oh, of course. Jesus, that sounds stupid on that one. They're twins.
They're Bella twins.
Twins in real life. And we got a twin rivalry. And it's something that has a lot of potential to be something big in WWE. All those family rivalries in WWE people complain about, but people can complain about it, but the point is that that's the entertainment aspect. They are fulfilling the entertainment aspect of it. Just because you're not going to see a 100% wrestling match between Brie Bella and Nikki Bella does not mean we are going to be entertained. Because a thing about wrestling, and this goes for the Indies and for WWE, is that you can wrestle, that's awesome, but you have to be able to entertain too, and they're going to be able to fulfill that aspect, and they're going to be able to entertain us a lot during that match and after it, whether the fans are upset at Nikki or they're happy for Brie.
And everything has a niche. Like, there's always going to be fans of something, and I'm sure there are fans of Brie versus Nikki Bella. This storyline isn't really doing anything for me either way. I mean, I have no problem with it. I don't hate it. I'm not looking forward to the match. I'm just going to watch it. So I'm just indifferent towards this match. I don't love it. I don't hate it. So, whatever happens. It doesn't mean I'm going to take a bathroom break. I try to enjoy whatever I can from any aspect of wrestling, and especially on Raw or SmackDown. So I really, this is indifferent to me. I see Nikki Bella getting the win at Hell in a Cell and just making Brie look bad, humiliating her, embarrassing her all throughout the next month. And they want to tease that since Brie quit WWE earlier this year that she might do it again. So that's just how I see this going down.
Yeah, maybe Brie wants to take some time off again. Can't it feel bad for the wrestlers, though, that want to take time off, but they have to, take time off in these dramatic storyline situations? It's like, how can you, live with that? Knowing that you're taking time off, but the whole world knows in storyline mode that you've been humiliated. It kind of sucks, but that's the way the wrestling business goes, I guess. If you want to take time off, just get humiliated and quit.
Yeah, sometimes people WWE could never just be happy with people leaving. They need to write them off somehow. So, that's just how they work. Somehow.
Yeah, that goes for any form of entertainment as well. If you watch Days of Our Lives, well, I don't, I have a life, but if you watch Days of Our Lives or watch soap operas, then they write them off that way too. So I guess that's the way it goes for any form of entertainment or wrestling.
Well, there is another Divas match at Hell in a Cell, and this time it is for the championship, as AJ will defend the Divas championship against her ex-best friend Paige. And Paige's new best friend Alicia Fox will surely be at ringside. And I already hear you commenting in the background, so why don't you take it away?
Can you let me cool off some steam here? This has been the fourth time or the fifth time, and I'm a good guy. We know WWE's listening, because that's what's awesome about it, is that WWE, you never know who could be listening to AngryMarks.com. It's just that this match has been happening. Is this been the fourth time now this has happened, or is this the fifth time?
I'm pretty sure it's probably the 8th or 9th time by now.
8th or 9th time. It's like I want to see someone else in contention for the Divas Championship. It's just AJ Lee and Paige. I will say this right now, and if you want to send me angry tweets at Jordan J. Garber, you can, if you disagree. AJ Lee and Paige are two of some of the best women's wrestlers in the world today, out of everyone, of course, because they're in the WWE, and that these two have the best wrestling ability in the world. It's a good match, but it's really repetitive right now, and it's something that everyone's seen before, and sometimes people want to see something new, and this being the 8th or 9th time, it's kind of getting tired to see of.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, I might be exaggerating with 8 or 9. I mean, it might be 5 or 6 or 7. I lost count after a while, but yeah.
That's the craziness. You're not supposed to lose count. Like any wrestling fan or a reporter, interviewer, or anyone involved in the wrestling business or as a fan or whatever should know how many times these people have faced off in a feud. I honestly, if you ask me for the life of it, I can't remember how many times these two faced off for the title. I have no idea. I can't remember.
Not just the fact that they faced off, but how many times the title switched hands between the two.
Oh, exactly. How many times?
Almost every time.
I said this, too, on Thursday Night AMP, of course, that you can listen to on the archives here on AngryMarks.com. I said is Paige going to retire as a 20-time Divas champion? You never know. Hey, she could be the Jerry Lawler of women's wrestling. After all the titles Jerry won, she can just win the title 20 times, and she could have the most reigns. Like, this is the way it's going to go right now. It's hilarious.
Well, either way, this match is happening. Divas Championship, AJ versus Paige. Alicia Fox at ringside. Yeah, I pretty much exhausted all the comments I could come up with for this match. I mean, like Jordan said, I'd like to see a new contender, but with every diva except for maybe 2 or 3 of them on the roster now being a part of Total Divas, like, what does that mean now? I mean, with the news that Paige and Alicia Fox are joining the cast of Total Divas, like,
Paige joining it now?
Paige and Alicia Fox will now be on the show in the next half season. Starting in the next, let's see, the TV show has their mid-season finale this Sunday running up against Hell in a Cell, which is a dumb idea, but that's not WWE. It's not WWE's decision. It's the E-Network. So, wow. I mean, it's stupid there, but they're going to lose ratings that way anyways, between the pay-per-view and Sunday Night Football. So, you know, that don't expect the ratings to be spectacular. But either way, the new season, you know, when the mid-season comes back, Paige and Alicia Fox will be new castmates on the show. So that leaves what? AJ Lee and Layla? and Emma.
New Layla?
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, the divas that are not on the show so far are AJ, Emma, and Layla.
Well,
that I can think of. I kind of
feel happy for AJ Lee, Emma, and Layla, because after a wrestling show or after a house show, by the way, these people wrestle. If you're signed to WWE and you're on the main roster, you're wrestling a good 5 to 6 days a week, right, or maybe 4 to 5 days a week. And plus, you got to do a reality show. That's pretty much, you only have probably not even 1 day off. I feel happy for AJ Lee, Emma, and Layla because they actually have a day off. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you'll never see AJ Lee on the show, especially with her personal life and being married to CM Punk now, and knowing the strains that WWE and CM Punk are in right now. That's not going to happen.
No, not at all. That would be funny though, but they're not gonna go kayfabe and do that.
Oh hell no! But we digress. We got off topic. We were talking about the Divas title match and the other Divas with the Bella Twins. Speaking of twins, the Usos get their shot at the Tag Team Championship at Hell in a Cell against the champs Gold and Stardust. And they had a 6-man tag match on SmackDown. The Usos teamed up with Mark Henry. Gold and Stardust teamed up with Bo Dallas. And right now, I'm going to say this off the bat. I'm saying it loud right now. King J, if you're listening, I feel bad for you, but I give up on Mark Henry.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing really good lately, and just looking at Mark Henry and what he's been, I feel bad for the guy, but he's older and he's just trying to put people over, I guess.
Now, exactly, and I want to iterate, I understand Mark Henry's role. I completely respect Mark Henry for putting over the new talent like Rusev and Bo Dallas, but as his character, I could care less now. Because for him to get easily beaten by Bo Dallas from, with that Stratus faction, yes, I know it's called the Running Bo Dog, but Trish Stratus did it better. The fact that, he wasn't even weakened or anything. I mean, he gave Stardust the world's strongest slam, but then he suffered the Running Bo Dog, right away. It's just kind of, I can't suspend my disbelief for that kind of kayfabe.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the way it's going on. It's just getting ridiculous with this whole Mark Henry situation. You got to feel bad for the guy, the situation he's put in right now. He used to be so over, and he used to be, really got that push, and now he's just going all the way down, steep downhill.
But, like I said, I respect the guy and the work he's doing and putting talent over. It's just, he's not winning. He's not winning matches, not even against Bo Dallas. He lost 4 in a row to Bo Dallas. And I mean, this guy can't even get one win. I can understand losing to Rusev, But having a feud with Bo
but
Dallas?
Now to Dallas, that's not.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But getting back to the Usos and Golden Stardust, I think this will be the third match that could potentially steal the show. So that's 3 matches now that I am predicting could steal the show at Hell in a Cell. Usos, well, let me just say the tag team title match, the Intercontinental title match, and the number 1 contenders Rollins and Ambrose Hell in a Cell match. Those 3, I am looking forward to the most.
Yeah, for sure. And the match I'm looking forward to the most is Ambrose versus Rollins. That's going to be a match. I think that's the match that everyone, I think according to wrestling, WWE.com did a poll, and everyone's looking forward to the Ambrose and Rollins match as well. So that should be good to see too.
Yeah, because everybody is looking at that. You know, they feel, as much as I do, feel that should be the true main event of Hell in a Cell. Even though we all know what will probably trump it. But still, I mean, everybody's looking forward to Ambrose and Rollins.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's kind of sad how they're looking forward, fans are looking more forward to Ambrose versus Rollins rather than John Cena and Randy Orton. But you got to think of it this way. John Cena and Randy Orton, it's been the same. This is kind of like this shades of AJ Lee and Paige. It's been back and forth between these two. This feud's been going on since 2007. I think this has been going on for 7 years, which is awesome. But you kind of get tired of seeing the same old things, right?
Sort of, yeah.
But I'm looking forward to the match still. It's still going to be a good match, but I'm just saying from a lot of fans' standpoint is that they want to see something different as well with John Cena and Randy Orton.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about some of the other matches. And on SmackDown, we had The Miz and Damien Mizdow team up to face Los Matadores, and I don't know why, but I did and I did not care about this match. I mean, I cared more about Mizdow and him imitating The Miz as opposed to The Miz actually doing the moves and winning the match.
Yeah, exactly.
And I did care about Sheamus on commentary during it, talking about the upcoming match at the pay-per-view, but I don't care about this match itself.
Yeah, it's just one of those matches that's on the card for being pretty much on the card. It's all right. It's a good match to see, but it's not going to be a 10 out of 10. You know what I mean?
Right. And I'm glad Sheamus is defending the United States title. It's just the fact that he's defending it against The Miz.
Again, and we talked about this before, The Miz does not need another title run. He does not need, and Stevie J said this as well. The way his gimmick is right now, I don't think it's good to kind of give the title run a little break and work on that character of that new heel he's becoming. I don't think it's good to see The Miz have another title run just because it's old. It's old news. It's going to be boring. No one's going to give a crap if fans see The Miz winning the U.S. title. It's not going to happen. No one's going to react to it. Honestly, they're just not going to care.
Right. So, and The Miz and Mizdow will be on the pre-show, the kickoff show for Hell in a Cell, as
cool.
Damien Mizdow is going to host Miz TV, and his guest will be The Miz. So I don't know how the stunt double is going to move on his own because he's basically a shadow of The Miz, but I'm interested to see what he's going to say.
That's what I like about this gimmick is that this comedy stuff. I like this pre-show idea, and I had nothing against The Miz. He's a decent wrestler, not the best wrestler, but he's a decent wrestler. But he knows how to get a crowd going. And this whole Mizdow TV thing is kind of funny, and it's going to be cool to see that on the kickoff show for sure, which you can catch for free on WWE.com. And, of course, you can catch the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view on the WWE Network for only $9.99.
$9.99.
I just wanted to say $9.99. Maybe I should just get a shirt that says $9.99 on it.
Hey, why not? I mean, we're giving the WWE Network free publicity, where you can only get it for $9.99 and watch the pay-per-view.
But they're they have a billion-dollar company. I don't think they need publicity, but hey, we're hoping, we're still hoping, you guys. So you never know. Any plug's a good plug.
That's right. Hey, we even get advertisements on AngryMarks.com for the WWE Network. So, it's all about advertisements and plugs here and there, left and right.
AngryMarks.com has a lot of good advertisements. I'm actually right now, I'm surfing the website AngryMarks.com. Always good to look through the old podcasts. I've listened to the SmackDown RunDown since you guys started. Like I'm catching up with my history here with this website.
And that's always awesome. And every episode is archived on AngryMarks.com in the podcast column. But let's get back to talking about the pay-per-view. We have another match, Rusev versus Big Show, and I think this feud is good. It's it intensified earlier this week on Raw, where Rusev threatened to rip down the American flag, but then an American soldier came in the ring and security stopped him, and then Rusev super kicked him, and that fired up the Big Show. So then he had a sit-down interview with Michael Cole on SmackDown. It was taped, obviously, but Big Show talked about how obviously it made him mad, it upset him, everything that you would expect. He said when he took down the Russian flag, he only intended to disrespect Lana and Rusev, not the entire nation. When Rusev tried to do it, he was just trying to disrespect everybody, every American. And Big Show, he's humbled whenever he goes overseas and talks to the troops. He's proud to be an American. He's happy Hulk Hogan is backing him up. Hogan is rooting for Big Show. And he said at the pay-per-view at Hell in a Cell, he will not keep his emotions in check. He will knock Rusev out, and he will pin him 1, 2, 3. Let's see if that actually happens.
And let's see what E. Honda, a.k.a. Rusev, has in store for Big Show. He looks like E. Honda, doesn't he?
Oh, he kind of moves like him, yeah.
It's like he should do the whole kick thing, he should have the whole gimmick. That'd be awesome. Just transform into totally different gimmick changes, but get him as E. Honda and dress Lana up, and it would be cool. But that's just joking around. But yeah, I'm just saying, if you know what, guys, on Twitter, you should let me know. Does Rusev look like E. Honda? Yes or no? And yeah, just go for it.
Well, why don't we go for talking about the actual, potentially most predictable main event of Hell in a Cell. The number one contenders Hell in a Cell match. Randy Orton versus John Cena. We've seen this before. Randy Orton and Cena inside Hell in a Cell. It's been done before. We've seen them fight each other before. These guys have one of the longest standing feuds going on in WWE right now. They have had such a long rivalry. Randy Orton is one of Cena's best rivalries. In fact, you can see most of their rivalries on the John Cena's new DVD of his greatest rivalries. And Orton is probably at the top of the list along with Edge, which I've enjoyed thoroughly. But we've seen this. Except this is 2014. We have a number one contender spot on the line for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. We've seen Cena face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam in August and then again in September. Can Cena win this match and get a third title shot against Brock Lesnar? Or will we see the unthinkable and have Randy Orton win this match and see Orton face Brock Lesnar?
I think we're going to see John Cena win against Orton just because, remember when Rollins interfered at Night of Champions? Yep. And then Cena's out of the picture. He's not going to be put out of the picture if he lost due to he didn't lose due to disqualification on the hands of Rollins. I think due to that one scenario that happened, Cena's going to win this because it doesn't seem that Cena's going to be completely out of the picture just because of that interference by Seth Rollins. That's my prediction, though. I am not a genius. I might not be the biggest wrestling genius, but that's just a prediction from a fan.
I'm going to say Orton was probably going to win, have a little surprise victory. Let's have Orton win the unexpected match and see that in the future. That would be something different that I would like to see. Have Orton face Brock Lesnar.
The question is Orton going to go over as a face when he faces Brock Lesnar? Because Lesnar's this monster heel, isn't he?
Yes, that's true. And here's the interesting caveat is at the end of Monday Night Raw, we saw Seth Rollins give his own authority brethren the curb stomp. We saw Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins gave Randy Orton the curb stomp at the end of Monday Night Raw. What does that mean? Why did Seth do it? We hadn't even gotten an explanation on that yet. And you just know that Randy Orton is not going to take that lightly.
He's not going to take that lightly. He's going to go on some panic attack and freak out and RKO everyone, and then more vines are going to be created, and it's going to be a big mess. But he's gonna. I predict that he's going to go after Seth Rollins for sure. And maybe that if Orton, here's what I'm saying. If Orton loses this match against John Cena at Hell in a Cell, he's going to automatically go into a feud with Seth Rollins until Seth Rollins cashes in the Money in the Bank. Sounds like a long shot prediction, but that's what I'm guessing.
I say Orton wins at Hell in a Cell, and he still gets in a feud with Seth Rollins because of what happened on Raw.
Good point.
So either way, you predict Cena will win, I predict Orton will win, but we both predict that he's going to get into some kind of feud with Seth Rollins, especially because they've been having this little one-upsmanship, and Orton feels dissed that Seth Rollins calls himself the future and new face of WWE. Orton wants that title. He wants to continue being the face of WWE, but he's tired of cleaning up Seth Rollins' mess every time he, interferes with Cena or Ambrose or anyone else involved. Orton has to clean it up. He's getting sick of it. Something's going to happen, and the most interesting thing will be the Monday Night Raw after Hell in a Cell.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Hopefully they do a lot of chants. Like I know it's not after WrestleMania, but it would kind of be cool if they did the chants again on Raw, like after the pay-per-views. That's always awesome.
Yeah.
But what if this happened? What if Funaki returned to Hell in a Cell? Could you imagine the pop, Nick? Could you imagine the pop if Funaki returned? Then he's a champion, and then the WWE is turned upside down. No, I'm just kidding. That's not going to happen.
Well, with that being said, I have nothing else to add from Friday Night SmackDown as I am scouring through my notes, and I pretty much covered everything from SmackDown I wanted to talk about, and Hell in a Cell, which you and I have discussed thoroughly. And that's the thing. That's the thing we do here on SmackDown RunDown. We don't necessarily predict the matches. What I like to do is just try to give a backstory, talk about Raw, SmackDown leading up to the pay-per-view, and discuss the matches and the fallout afterwards. I think that we covered a lot of that.
Oh yeah, most definitely we did. And it's going to be a good pay-per-view, and I hope everyone listening enjoys it.
So do I. And as always, you can catch Hell in a Cell on the WWE Network, which I definitely will.
For sure. And we don't really there's a confusion error with WWE Network in Canada, or I'll figure it out, but I think you can still get it on pay-per-view, so I might just check it out as well.
And I hope that it does get settled out in Canada so all my Canadian friends can enjoy WWE Network.
For sure. I'm looking forward to it, for sure.
So, with that being said, I think that's going to do it for this week's episode of the SmackDown Rundown. Jordan, do you have anything else to add before we close out the show?
Just a little bit, few things. JGW, Jordan Garber's World, podcast on AngryMarks.com, will be up soon. The first guest is Travis Tyler, who was in WWE NXT, just got released around, 3 months ago, so he tells his story. That should be up on AngryMarks.com today or tomorrow, or sometime soon for sure. And pretty much, of course, follow me on Twitter at Jordan J. Garber, and I appreciate being on again.
Awesome. And don't forget, you can lend us your comments. Tweet us at AngryMarks.com. Tweet me at Nikolai, NICKOLYE. Tweet Jordan J. Garber. And as always, check out AngryMarks.com for all your latest news, rumors, podcasts, recaps, and everything else in between. That's going to do it for this week's episode of the SmackDown Rundown. For our producer, Killer Kev, for my co-host, Jordan Garber, this is Nikolai telling you, enjoy Hell in a Cell, and we'll see you next time.